Hey YouTube, this is Primetime Pokemon. In this video, I'll be opening up the second 18 packs in the brand new Paradox Rift Pokemon Booster Pack. So this is part 2 of the booster box opening. If you missed out on part 1, there is a link in the description of this video. So this booster box I did buy from Collector's Cash for $107.99, and you can find a link to the website for Collector's Cash in the description of this video. If you did miss out on part 1, spoiler alert, but I actually had pretty good pulls quantity-wise as well as quality-wise. I'm hoping that those types of pulls return for part 2. So I'll get to opening these packs right away. Of course, at the end of this video, I'll summarize all of my good pulls in this opening, part 2, as well as the booster box as a whole. Now, of course, this is the newest set in the Pokemon TCG. November 3rd is the official release date. So Friday, November 3rd, 2023. This is already, if you can believe it, the 4th main Scarlet and Violet series set. That's 2 videos in a row. Almost says Sword and Shield. Time flies for sure. So, of course, Paradox Pokemon, new with Paradox Rift. Similar to what the Sun and Moon series sets did with the Ultra Beats. Didn't introduce them right away. Alright, so first pack in part 1 starts with a Toxel, Spinda, Nimble, Elekid, Snorlax Doll, always been a fan of Snorlax, Tinkaton, Durant, first reverse holo would be a Wimpod, second would be a Miltank, and the final card would be a Palkia. Now there are 34 illustration rares in this set. I pulled only 1 in part 1. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'll get 2, maybe 3 in part 2. I would ideally like a special illustration rare as well. Now there are 4 different cover artwork designs for the booster packs in this set. This one, of course, would be Armarouge, Wimpod to start this one, Plusle, Tandemos, Toedscool, Zebstrika, Crocolore, Ambipom, Purloin, Liepard, going basic stage 1 there, and the final card would be a Golisopod. 34 illustration rares. There are several that I would really like to pull, just Pokemon in general that I like. Of course, the artwork is a little bit more intricate and detailed and eye-catching for those illustration rares and special illustration rares. Yamask starts this one. Spinda, Tinkatink, Tandemos, Absol, Masquerain, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, Xatu, which is a very competitive card. Pull this as a rare holo in part 1. Its ability allowing you to attach a basic energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And then if you do, then you can draw 2 cards. Surskit, and the final card would be a Garganacl. So that is the Pokemon that I pulled as an illustration rare. Same exact card, just different artwork. And of course, rarity-wise, it is much tougher. Did pull out a hyper rare in part 1. I can't imagine that I pull a second one out in part 2. As of right now, I really don't have a most wanted card from the set. I would be interested in knowing, if you're watching this video, if you have a favorite card from the set or most wanted card. Let me know in the comment section of this video. Dwebble starts this pack. Whismur, Doublade, Surskit, Orthworm, Professor Turo's Scenario, very good trainer card. Put one of your Pokemon in play into your hand. Mienshao, Ting-Lu. Nice, there's a Magby, which I am a fan of this baby Pokemon here. Really like the artwork on it as well. And then the final card would be an Aegislash. So first good pull in part 2. An illustration rare, has that gold star at the bottom right hand, or the left hand corner of the card rather. 182 cards in the main part of this set. I believe there are 266 total cards in this set, which is crazy. Back in the Sun and Moon series of sets, that was really the last time I went out and bought cards individually to complete a set. It was just getting so expensive. I was putting $1,000+ into every set just trying to complete it. Vanillish starts this one. Onyx, Tinkatink, Charcadet, Earthen Vessel could be the best card, most competitive card in this set. Medical Energy, Steenie, Dottler, Gimmighoul, and the final card would be an Iron Moth. Future Pokemon right there, of course, Future and Ancient. The Future Pokemon, usually resembling futuristic relatives of contemporary Pokemon, pixelated background, and then tend to have abilities and attacks with extra effects. I'm taking that right off of Bulbapedia, so hopefully whoever entered that on there entered it correctly. Usually they get a lot of their news from PokeBeach. That is the place that I go to most for news related to Pokemon cards. He's been doing it a very long time. Magby, the first illustration rare that I pulled in part 2 here. Flamigo, Porygon, Oricorio, Rika, Gourgeist, Professor Sada's Vitality, Joltik, Crustle, and the final card would be a Ting-Lu. I do miss moving that final card to take a look at the energy card to see if it's a holo like in 151. Really the last 2 sets for me, I talked about it in part 1 a little bit. Oblivion Flames is, boy, I'm really losing it until it's late here. Obsidian Flames, and then 151. Charizard always draws me in. I've been switching my recording times. I've been talking about a little bit. A lot of times I'd record on the weekends. A lot of times I'm busy on the weekends now, so then I'll just fit it in the evenings after work. Mia's sleeping right now, so Carla's actually working her full-time job. She took it home with her and was working from home. I'm working a little bit here doing this video. Flittle starts this one. Trubbish, Gimmighoul, Wiglet, Gliscor, Absol, Simisage, Vanillish, Blitzel, and the final card would be a Roaring Moon EX. So this is an ancient form of, looks like something similar to Salamence. Let's take a look at this card. One of 20 different Pokemon EX available. Frenzied Gouging. Knock out your opponent's active Pokemon. If your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out in this way, this Pokemon does 200 damage to itself, and then Calamity Storm, 100 damage plus. You may discard a Stadium in play. If you do, this attack does 120 more damage. So certainly a powerful attacker, and that's what the ancient Pokemon are known to do. Just they deal a large amount of damage, and they are fairly hard to knock out. So I'll set that aside. And these EX continue that confetti holofoil design to them if you get them in the right light. Similar to Radiant Collection cards from sets past. Garchomp on this one. Of course, there are 2 Elite Trainer boxes with this set. There's the Booster Bundle, which was the best value for 151. There's the 3-pack blisters, 1-pack blisters, Build and Battle Stadium, Build and Battle boxes. I'll be opening up all of those items on my channel in the future. Toedscool starts this one. Vanillite, Charcadet, Swablu, Tatsugiri, Dondozo, Tulip, Nacli, Doublade, and the final card would be a Chi-Yu. And that is something, reading something like Chi-Yu, every time a new generation is released, to me at least, I lose interest in the new Pokemon. To me, the best generation of all time, first generation and then second generation. After that, I like a few Pokemon here and there in every generation, but really the first 2 are my favorites. Of course, I collected Pokemon cards since 1999 when base set first was released. That was all first generation Pokemon, and then I put 1,000+ hours into Pokemon Crystal. That was the second generation of video games focusing on the Johto region. Jirachi, surprisingly a common to start the pack. Nacli, Parasol Lady, Porygon 2, Norman, Orthworm, Toedscruel, Techno Radar, Fuecoco, and the final card would be a Zacian. So lots of legendary Pokemon mixed into this set. And I always get the question, what set should I buy if I want 6th generation Pokemon, 5th generation Pokemon, etc.? The easy answer is just go and buy a set that was released when that generation was brand new, but there's really never a set that only includes a certain generation. You always have mixtures of generations once the 2nd generation was released, of course. And that is good. It introduces new Pokemon to people, but then of course people have their favorites. Nostalgia always increases demand, and mixing in Pokemon like that just makes the set more collectible. Pansear starts this one. Wiglet, Gligar, Blipbug, Veluza, Chantal, Garbodor, Pansear, Porygon 2, and then a Groudon. 34 of those illustration rares. I've pulled 2 out of the 34 so far. I'm hoping to get 3 or 4 total. Pulled 1 in each half of the booster box so far. A lot of times you may only get 2 illustration rares and maybe at the most 1 special illustration rare. Octillery starts this one. Golbat, Larry, Yamask, Screamtail, Techno Machine Devolution, Exploud, Gourgeist, second reverse holo would be a Steelix, and the final card, a Kingdra. I do like the guaranteed rare holo card in each and every pack, at least for opening purposes. You see that dark edge back there? It doesn't really give away what's going to be in that final spot, because a lot of times full art cards or even the EX cards will have that darker edge as well, so you really don't know until you get to that final spot if you're going to get something good. Because I can just tilt the cards down like that and you see a little bit of a dark edge back there. Doesn't give it away at all. Fuecoco starts this one. Snorunt, Honedge, Horsey, Future Booster Energy Capsule, Screamtail. I don't think Jigglypuff was lulling anyone to sleep if Screamtail's there. Iron Bundle, Chi-Yu, second reverse holo Explode, and the final card, a Porygon Z. Porygon I'm a big fan of. First time I pulled Porygon 2 a few packs ago. I pulled 2 Porygon 2 recently, then go right to Porygon Z. I'd say we have 5 packs left? 6 packs left. So the pulls certainly need to heat up. Only 2 good pulls so far. But quantity-wise, like I said, part 1 had pretty good pulls. Usually, it's not split, let's say, 6 and 6 on each stack of the booster box. It's usually heavily weighted to one side. I know a lot of card shops I've been to, they actually don't let you pick packs from the booster box just because there is sometimes a pattern or consistency to one side of the box that you might have a little better luck pulling the packs out that have the good pulls. Surskit starts this one. Whismur, Flamigo, Porygon, Mela, Slitherwing, Gourgeist, Flittle, another Flittle, and the final card would be a Chantal. So I've done very well pulling out full art cards. This would be 2 silver stars, ultra rare rarity wise. Full art trainer here. I have my cheat sheet here. There are, and that is why I was mistaken, I have those backwards, but there are 10 different EX full art cards in this set. Let's take a look at this card. Flip a coin, not good. If heads, switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. If tails, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So I really don't see a use for this card. Anytime you flip a coin, that takes a huge chunk of the usefulness from it, because you only have a 50-50 shot of what the card is actually going to do, and it seems like really 2 opposite things. It really may hurt you if you're moving your active Pokemon to the bench. But a good collectible card. Usually the female full art cards are more valuable in the future. Here we have essentially Salamence. I believe it's Roaring Moon. Alright. Joltik starts the pack. Natu, Remoraid, Pumpkaboo, Ferrothorn, Cursed Duster, Orbeetle, Zebstrika, second reverse holo would be a Tandemos, and the final card, a Milotic. Getting down there on packs, again I did purchase this booster box from Collector's Cash. Pretty reasonable price for the booster box. It is nice to see, even though the price per pack has increased to what, $4.49 MSRP at least. Booster boxes are still staying a little bit lower. Demand is also way down. I think supply is up, contributing to those prices as well. Seadra starts this one. Magby, Vanillite, Oricorio, Tatsugiri, Vanillux, Defiance Vest, Mienfoo, Galvantula, and the final card would be a Groudon. Hoping out of the final 3 packs to get one great pull. Really hoping to pull these special illustration rare. Quantity-wise, 15 different ones. There are 9 EX and 6 trainers. Those are usually the most valuable cards in a set, would be these special illustration rares. Zubat starts this one. Gimmighoul, Mienfoo, Purloin, Cloth, Luxurious Cape, Cyclizar. First reverse holo would be a Seadra. Second would be a Plusle. So there we go. There's another illustration rare. One of 34. So 3 I've pulled in this box. And then the final card, an Iron Jugulis. Looks like Hydreigon to me, a future form of Hydreigon, my guess would be. So we'll set that aside. 4 cards to summarize so far. 2 packs left to go. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on Paradox Rift. If you've opened any packs, what your best pulls are, what you think of the pull rates, what your favorite card from the set would be. Swablu starts this one. Pansear, Nickit, Gligar, Veluza, Turbo Energize, Wugtrio, Gliscor, Wiglet, and the final card would be a Gholdengo EX. So with 20 different Pokemon EX in this set, I've pulled this as a full art and now the regular EX. So I will take that. This card's ability, very good. And let's see if I can show that confetti holofoil pattern. You can see it right there on the card. So happy with the Gholdengo pull. Final pack here. Not expecting much. Previous 2 packs did have good pulls, but if I was to pull something good here, would love to get a special illustration rare. Final pack here of Paradox Rift, and then of course I will summarize my pulls. Final pack, it starts with Ferroseed, Gible, Panpour, Blitzel, Simisear, Crobat, Rourke, Ferroseed. First reverse holo would be a Nickit. Second would be a Zacian. So I butchered the final pack, got too excited. 2 reverse holos, Ferroseed, Nickit, and then the Zacian, the rare holo. But overall, I'm happy with this box, both in quantity and in quality. I don't think I pulled anything super valuable, but that really goes for all of the Scarlet and Violet series of sets. They're really not any super valuable cards outside of in 151. And I guess the Charizard in Obsidian Flames, which that card is more just collectible, not competitive. So give me a moment, I'll summarize the pulls in part 2. Alright, in part 2 of this booster box opening, I was able to pull out a couple of Pokemon EX, Gholdengo and Roaring Moon, 1 full art trainer in Chantel, and then 2 illustration rares. So 3 total out of 34 possible. Magby, which I really like, and then Plusle. So give me a moment and I will lay out on the table all of my good pulls from this booster box opening. Alright, so here is a summary of the pulls, the entire booster box. So very happy quantity wise as well as quality wise. What I have 12 cards to summarize here. I was able to pull out 5 Pokemon EX, right about average. Pulled out 3 illustration rares. I wish one of them would have been a special illustration rare. Very happy with the number of full art cards. So 3 ultra rares. You have 2 EX Full Art and then 1 Full Art Trainer, and then the Hyper Rare in the Reversal Energy. So I'm hoping these types of pulls continue for this set, Paradox Rift. To me, there's just not a card that I really want from the set. I really need to look at the Elite Trainer box, look at the Player's Guide to see all of the card scans. But with 34 illustration rares, I think some of my favorite cards would be in those 34. But that will conclude this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure before you go to leave a like on this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already, and then make sure to check out the links in the description of this video. Of course, a link to the website for Collector's Cash, where I purchased this booster box, and then if you would like to become a patron of mine on Patreon, you can find that in the description of this video. So thank you everyone for watching. Happy Pokemon card collecting, whether it's with Paradox Rift or trying to pull the card you want in Pokemon 151. I still have my sight set on that 151 special expansion, still in the search for Charizard. Really just trying to find good deals, more of the booster bundles, and just opening some of those up to see potentially of getting a Demigod pack. But again, another reminder, certainly go out and buy individual cards. It's the cheapest way to collect Pokemon cards if you are inclined to collect Pokemon cards. So thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.